channel 250. Please remember to download both the Barn Burner and ZingoTV apps from the respective iOS and Android app stores, as both apps are absolutely free. And while you download, please make sure to rate and leave a comment because we want to hear from you people. Yes, we do. And Zingo TV is also available on Google, Chromecast, Amazon Fire, and Fire TV sticks. And Roku sticks also available on all smart TVs from 2016. So welcome to Club Tracks, folks. I'm your host, Noel Club. And let's introduce our cool co-host. Yeah, good idea. Right on. So here he is.
Good to see you, brother.
How's it going, man?
Good, man. Highlight of my week, bro. So
right on.
Me too.
Me too. For those who don't know, he's the lead singer and guitarist of The Handful out of New York City. A pretty cool band, I gotta say. It's a pretty cool rock and roll resumes in that band, I gotta say as well. Yeah. And of course, on today's show for the Knockout with myself and my big Olympic crew. And here he is, Mr. Cool Dude, Mark Duda. Welcome, sir, officially.
Thanks, brother. It's a cool day, man. I got to speak with Scotty Olson earlier, and tonight we're speaking to Mike, man, which is one hell of a record. So
exactly, right?
Cool.
This is gonna be fun as always. As always, you're in for a little bit of a treat there, Mike.
I
hope so.
With bated breath.
Very good, very good. And of course, let's introduce our very cool guest this evening. And he is actually a long time singer and songwriter in the country music genre. And actually, he's a great chap here. He also released his very first children's book, which is called More Than a Game. And here he is live with us. Here he is, Mike Plume. Welcome, sir.
Nice to see you. Thanks for having me, Noel.
You too,
Mark,
sir.
always nice to see you as well.
So you were originally from New Brunswick, is that correct?
That is correct. Moncton, New Brunswick is the town I was born in, yeah.
And absolutely. You moved to Edmonton, Alberta later on, is that the story there?
Moved to Edmonton, Alberta in 1985, right at the peak of the Edmonton Oilers dynasty.
That's from the Steve Champions days, right?
Yes, you better believe it, man. So yeah, that's when I moved to town. That's kind of how I mark my calendar, is what Stanley Cup the Oilers are on. But, yes.
That's a good point with a Canadian. That's a good point.
That's right.
We do the same thing with the Yankees.
That's true too. Yeah, it's true too.
Certainly more frequently over the last 20 or 30 years.
27.
Oh, very
That's
true,
crazy.
Oh, no kidding. So, Mike, how'd you? What's going on? Led you in the path of music? Was there like a moment, a band, experience you had that said, "That's for me. I want to pursue that direction." What was it for you that kind of inspired you?
I was a hockey player, like all
most Canadians,
like most Canadians and most teenagers. You know, when you're growing up, you're like you have designs on being an athlete, and then when I was probably 15, 16, I had a bit of a knee injury, not a catastrophic knee injury, but an injury that sort of forced me to miss a season of hockey. And for nothing more than sheer boredom, I picked up the guitar. And then, I figured, well, if hockey doesn't pan out, I'm going to need a good rock solid plan B to fall back on. And so I became a musician. But yeah, so that's how I wound up where I am today.
Oh, very good. Very good. It's kind of like a perfect accident in a sense, eh?
Well, it was, you just, we were talking earlier, we don't plan anything, or I certainly don't. And so I just sort of stumble from one disaster to the next. And so, a bum knee turned me into a bum of a singer.
Oh, hardly.
I get that.
You know what I mean.
We know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
We know what you mean for sure. We know we love the new record. So, we'll talk about that as well tonight for sure.
I appreciate that very much, sir.
And who were your earliest musical influences for you?
Whatever was on the radio, whatever my folks were playing. So I was born in 1968, the year of the White Album. So I would have started, my earliest musical memories would be, Elvis, stuff, whatever my folks were listening to in the early 1970s. And then it would have been the whole, Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, outlaw country crowd, through up to about 1980. Then in 1980, it would have been, the Clash, I would have discovered them. I would have discovered other bands like that, the Police, stuff like that. And then by the time the mid 80s hit, I was kind of like Mickey Rourke's character in The Wrestler, just a heavy metal lughead. Everything was just Rat and Motley Crue, and that was it for me. And if I had my druthers back then, I probably would have been a singer in a band like that, but I couldn't sing it. It just didn't. I as much as I wanted to sound like Cinderella or any of those guys, I just didn't have the voice for it.